Welcome to Real Estate Essentials. I'm your host, Jay Deher. On today's program, we're going to show you a young couple picking out their first new home. We're going to have Zach walk us through the botanical gardens, and we're going to show you some major changes coming in the real estate market. All that and more coming right after this. I'm Jay Deher. I've been on top of Utah's real estate market for over 10 years. I will show you things about this market that you never knew.
Hi, my name is Felix and this is my wife Lauren. I'm originally from El Salvador, but I went to school at BYU Hawaii, and that's where we met and we fell in love. We moved to Utah because I got a job offer here, and we're currently renting an apartment, but we decided that it's time for us to buy a house. A good friend of ours introduced us to Jay, and we're just really excited to start working and finding a house for us.
Meeting with Jay was awesome. He took the time to answer all our questions, and even though he's one of the top agents, he took the time to really get to know us and know what we want, and I'm really confident in going out and looking for a house with him.
So Felix and Lauren, you're going to buy your first home?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, this is super exciting. I'm excited to get involved with you guys. So have you guys thought at all about buying a house and what's important to you?
Well, yeah, I was thinking I want a big yard.
Okay, big yard?
Yeah, the kitchen's kind of a big thing for me because I love to cook and I want it easy, accessible.
Okay, good. Anything else?
But like the most important thing for us is location.
Okay.
We are not commuters. We are used to live too close to everything.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to be close to work.
Okay, good. And where's your work at?
It's in Draper.
Okay, perfect. Draper.
Yeah.
Okay, well, the first step when you're buying your first home, one of the most important things is getting a loan. Okay, and this helps us in the whole process of identifying properties and everything for you. And so we're going to get you pre-qualified, okay?
Sounds great. Thank you. We met with Darin, and he was very informative. He was really, really helpful. Being the first time home buyers, we didn't really know anything about mortgages. So he explained us all the different products that they had. And he gave us an option that we didn't have to put a down payment. After that, he gave us the approval or the thumbs up to go and talk to Jay and start looking for houses. So we're really excited that we actually can, get a mortgage and actually be grown-ups and buy a house.
So Lauren and Felix, is my favorite part where we actually start out going out and looking at houses. You've dealt with all the money and all this kind of stuff, and now we actually get to go look at stuff. And this particular one is listed at $164,200. And so that's pretty low, right?
Yeah, that's like, within our budget pretty much.
Yeah, it's even low. But it's only 2 bedrooms, but it's 1 full bath and 1 half bath. It's got a 1-car garage, and it's just about 1,300 square feet. Some of the things I really like is the neighborhood is right next to Harmon's grocery store, which is one of my very favorites.
That's good.
And it's in a nice quiet street. And so what do you think of this?
I liked how open it was. You came up the stairs and the kitchen was open with the little window, and it had the nice hardwood floors.
Yeah, I really like the colors. It had a lot of character. I feel like the house had a lot of character.
And now I know you guys said you want a backyard. This one has kind of a patio, a fenced patio. Would that be good enough for you?
We looked at it, and it looks on the smaller side, but I think it's still big enough to have some friends over.
So it's a possibility.
It's a possibility. We could make do with that.
Guys, what did you think of that house?
We really liked it. It was the first house we'd ever walked through, so we didn't really know what to expect, but we actually liked it. It was really cute. And
it was a really cute house. It was under our budget too. So.
Yeah, it was fairly inexpensive for what you guys could spend.
Yeah, but it was on the smaller side though.
Yeah.
Not so much room to grow,
And that backyard was a little bit smaller than what you were looking for.
Smaller.
Almost like a patio, right?
Yeah.
It's more like a patio, yeah.
Okay, well let's go look at this next house I got for you.
Okay.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay, see, Felix and Lauren, so we are in Draper, but we're up on the hill on what is called Suncrest, which is, obviously you can see it's a beautiful neighborhood, lots of parks, incredible views, and although it's considered Salt Lake County, the climate is actually really similar to Park City, because you're actually so far up on the hill. They actually have a pretty similar, so they get a lot of snow up there. But what do you think of this house?
Definitely a little bigger, a lot more room to grow.
Yeah, so this one's listed at $208,900, and it is 3 bedrooms and 3 full baths with a 2-car garage, and just a little over 2,000 square feet on this one.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I really like that. You know, it feels like it's very well organized, like how they divided the floors.
mm-hmm.
I really like the hardwood floors. They're like beautiful.
Yeah, kind of that open space right up there upstairs.
Yeah, the master bedroom. I love the blue, and it just made it feel open and all the light.
Yeah, it has really big windows in the master bedroom. That's really nice because there's a lot of natural light coming in too. And it has its own bathroom, so that's something else that we're looking for. You know, we're looking at a master bedroom with a massive bathroom. So
this would be nice for you guys because if you had children and started, you actually wouldn't outgrow this house too quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of room to grow. That's for sure. Yeah, we like it.
So guys, second house, what do you think of that one?
It was definitely a lot bigger. There was more space in that one.
Yeah, we really like it.
About 2,000 square feet, which is nice.
Yeah.
What'd you think of its location? It's up on the hill there, kind of overlooking things a little bit.
It had beautiful views, but it was a little bit far away.
Yeah, it was kind of too far. Although, like, I feel like, you know, it had a lot of more room for us to grow into the house, but still a little too far than we want it to be.
Okay, good. Well, why don't we go take a look at the last house?
All right.
Okay, guys, we're headed down to the last house here, and I think you're going to like this one. This is what they consider a single-family residence, and so it doesn't share any walls with anybody else, and it's got a nice big backyard, as you can see, right?
Yeah.
Like that? Okay, good. So it's listed at $219,000. It's 3 bedrooms, 2 full, and 1 half bath, and it's just under 1,400 square feet. So as we're going inside, you can see they've got some nice amenities on the inside.
Wow.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
That is really nice.
Place for your TV and everything.
Fireplace too. Wow, yeah.
One of the nice things about this type of house is buying a single family residence will oftentimes be better than buying a attached home, because townhouses and condos, when they're built out, they're really similar. Okay, and so there might be 15 or 20 or 100 of them in a subdivision. They're all identical. In a single-family residence, they are very unique. You know, they have different size lots. They're different, made up differently on the inside, and so you're not having to compete against your neighbors typically when it comes time to sell. And so they tend to be a much better value. And of course, you don't have to worry about people. Take a look at that kitchen. Didn't you say you want a nice kitchen?
Oh, that's nice.
It does have a nice kitchen.
One of the nice things also about having a single-family residence is all your neighbors are much farther away from you. And the way this one sits on the lot, it's got a big yard, and there's basically only one neighbor.
That's awesome.
It's not that we don't like neighbors, but that's really nice.
You just like them far away, right?
Yes. And it has plenty of bathrooms too.
A little bit of storage there, looking good.
And the bedrooms are upstairs. I like
so
that.
It's got 3 bedrooms all upstairs and a big master bedroom, as you can see, and it walks into that bathroom there.
Well,
so it has a
beautiful.
separate master bath.
That's pretty much what we want. We want a separate master bathroom. And a walk-in closet for you. Look.
Yay.
That is really pretty. Wow.
And a place for you to expand, right, for your kids?
Yeah, definitely the girls' room.
We definitely wouldn't outgrow it anytime soon.
No. And you know what the best part is? The location. It's like walking distance to work, man.
Yeah, that's awful nice. It's hard to find that. So headed down to the backyard. This is one of the highlights of this house, obviously. Big, huge backyard with a deck and a 2-car detached garage which is awful nice.
That is beautiful. Look at that deck for barbecuing.
And so this one's kind of topped out your market of where you guys want to spend, but this type of house is a real good investment, because down the road, these type of houses are always worth a lot more money.
So it's going to increase in value, huh?
Okay, guys, so that's the last house. What do you think of that one?
I really liked it. It had a really big backyard, you know. So.
And Lauren, what do you think?
I really liked it. I like seeing the difference between the single-family home versus the condo. I felt like there's a little bit more room in it. The kitchen, I loved the kitchen in that house.
I really like this neighborhood too. Like, you look like a nice neighborhood now for what we saw.
Lauren, what are you thinking?
Well, I'm kind of thinking, I loved the views from the second house. I loved being up on the hill, and
right?
I mean, it really wasn't that much size difference. I mean, there were rooms to grow as well in that house.
Okay, well, let me give you kind of some cost things so you can think about the money, because money is always important, right? The difference in price per month from the first house to the second house you went to was about $270 a month. Okay, that's what your payment difference is.
Yeah,
not that much.
Not so bad, yeah.
And it was only about $60 to go from the second house to the third house more. Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's not that much more really when you think about it. I mean, price per. And the nice thing about that last one is it's going to appreciate better than just about any house that you've looked at, because it's a single family residence and it's unique from the other houses around it, and it's always a good purchase. But this is obviously your purchase. I want you guys go think about it for just a little minute, and get back to me and let me know which one you're liking. Does that sound good?
Sounds good.
This week in Utah's real estate, we're seeing an equilibrium market. What an equilibrium market means is we look at the amount of sales that we've had over the last 6 months and how much inventory we analyze. And if we have less inventory, it's a seller's market. And if we have more inventory, it's a buyer's market. And we've kind of reached that point where we have just about as many sales as we have listings in that 6-month period. What that means is we're actually slowing down. The market that we've seen for the last 2 years, where it's been so hot and going frantic, it's actually started to ease now. But that's healthy for our market, because we can't continue to increase like we did. And so what you should expect, if you're looking to sell your home, usually sellers will, in the beginning of summer, they'll put that high price on their house, and they'll wait for the market to come up and catch that demand, and then kind of catch that price. This year, you're not going to want to do that. You're going to want to price your house more aggressive and get to that buyer quickly. Okay? If you're a buyer, you're in a good situation, because the market's going to settle down a little bit. It won't be firing as much as it used to, but that's healthy for all of us. Let's go take a look at what the rates are doing.
Jay, the average 30-year fixed rate has actually enjoyed a nice little downtrend in the last few weeks. And as a matter of fact, Freddie Mac reports the average rate for a 30-year fixed conventional rate is at 4.125% as of May 29th. Now, the week before, they were actually at 4.14, so it's gone down just a hair. Now, to compare that with a year ago, the rates were 3.81, so we're really not that far off from where we were a year ago, keeping those home prices and rates really, really affordable for a lot of people.
And there you have it. That's your market in a minute. After just a little bit of deliberation, Lauren and Felix picked out their new home.
So we found our perfect home. It has everything we want. It has a big yard.
The kitchen's awesome. I get to cook in it. It's easy to move around in.
And the best part is that we live only 5 minutes away from work. We don't drive. We walk to work, So it worked out perfectly. Jay helped us a lot, and he taught us a lot of different things. And he found us the real house, like the real deal. We used to live down the road, and we paid, our rent for an apartment. But now with this house, it's just, $100 more, and it stores our property. That's the best part. It's just our place, and it will be our place for a long time.
Yeah, it's the perfect home for us.
Yep.
Every month when Susan gets her power bill, she gets a shock because the power bills continue to steadily rise month after month. Susan is a mom, a wife, and a smart woman. She found Solar Tech Solutions. Susan made an environmental and economical decision. She installed a solar power system that saves her thousands every year. If you can afford ever-increasing power bills, you can certainly afford your solar power system. Get your free energy consultation today and switch to Solar Tech with nothing out of pocket.
Oftentimes, our clients come to us at the most challenging and difficult times in their lives. We found that at these difficult times, what really makes a difference is knowledge, and that's where we come in.
So you just got back from your trip to Nicaragua. How'd that go?
So good, so much fun. What a beautiful country, beautiful people. They're so humble and so happy. You know, they're literally, they've got these wells, and they're pulling up from, get their water. We pull up to the gas station and
like
get
old
gas.
school?
Yeah, like old school. I mean, not just, probably about 90% of the houses I saw where we were living, that's the way they were. They just had a well where they pull up for their water. And then pull in to get gas where our place was, and they come out with a 5-gallon bucket, and the lady holds the 5-gallon bucket up, and the guy puts the hose in it, and then, siphons the gas up. Out.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, but you think, man, if you did that here, people would be miserable, right?
Oh,
be
yeah.
like, man, they're just happy as can be. Ask them for directions, they just give you directions, and they're so nice about it. I mean, at one point the guy drove off in a scooter to show us where we were supposed to go, because we're going to rent this boat and go surfing out on some island or something. But so we had this beautiful house up on this cliff, and then you walk down to this beach. This beach was one of the most beautiful beaches you've ever seen in your life. I mean, just absolutely, it was a great left point break, which is just what I grew up surfing. The problem was, this is a real reef break, because it's, it's like coral. It's like jagged rock, and it's got all the, all the life on it. Because where I grew up in California, it was, there were reef breaks, but they're rock reef breaks, so there was stuff living on it, but it wasn't coral. Because
is the coral more sharp?
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's like a razor blade going through your through your flesh.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's really, really sharp. And this left point break is beautiful, but it's super shallow, and when the wave sucks out, it literally it drains out, and so there's no water underneath. And so we're out there surfing, and inevitably, somebody's going to get washed across the reef, and so each one of us take our turns getting washed across the reef, and then we got to go in and lay down, and they have to do surgery on your foot to try and pull all the sea urchins, because there'll be these sea urchins in there, and you go washing across it, and the sea urchins break off in your feet, and so then we have to take, razor blades or razor knives and cut them out.
I saw those pictures on Facebook. You posted them on Facebook, right?
Right. I was laying down. Everyone had to take their turn. Well, you had to take a knife and literally dig these things out of your feet, because it was painful as can be. You keep walking all these barbs in your feet. The worst part is I'm taking off on this big wave. Okay. Big wave of the day is coming in, and my buddy, and when you're surfing, they have priority positions, and so if you take off deeper in the wave, you have priority, and nobody down the line is supposed to take off, and so it's a left point break, and I go taking off on this big set wave, and my buddy takes off on me and just sends me right into the reef. And,
really?
You want to talk about...
Was he still your buddy after that?
Yeah, he's still my buddy.
I guess that's good. not quite as good of a buddy, though.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Because I wasn't too happy as I go dropping on this wave, and I have nowhere to go but right over the reef, and then just yeah, you can imagine the pain, because it cut my feet so bad the whole time that I was down there. It was painful to walk, because it would just literally just gouge my feet into just hurt so much.
So was it worth it?
Oh, so much fun. Those waves down there, we weren't surfing a very big surf down there, because it was kind of off swell a little bit, but it was still so powerful. The first day that we were there, we broke 2 boards.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it wasn't even heavy surf. I mean, it was stuff that we'd surf in California, but it was so powerful, because there was this volcano, and then in a lake, and then a peninsula of land, and then it went out, and so all day long it was blowing offshore winds, because having to do with the volcano and the lake, whatever it was, so it just blew offshore winds, and with the reef break, and so it literally would just hold up until it would throw a lip, and it was pretty heavy, even though it was small. I mean, we were getting getting beat up a little bit.
So how'd you get hooked up on a trip like that? I mean, usually, you go somewhere people have heard of, but I don't know very many people have gone to Nicaragua.
Nicaragua is kind of the new thing. Well, back to that. I grew up in Southern California, and all my friends still live there, and they go off on these surf trips, so they invited me on this one.
Oh, gotcha, cool.
And so they decided to go to Nicaragua because it's inexpensive.
Ah, gotcha.
Because Costa Rica is the big one. That's where everybody went, but it's now been very commercialized. It's still beautiful as can be, but Nicaragua is just across the border, and you can have this. We have this beautiful house. It was right up on the, overlooking the beach, and it was, I don't know, like $200 a night or something.
Oh, really? The whole thing?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it had its own pool. I mean, it was a gated community. It was absolutely beautiful. And so Nicaragua is one of those places, a great investment actually for real estate, because Nicaragua will go the natural way of like Costa Rica, where that land, that location will become extremely desirable, and it'll turn into another Costa Rica. It just hasn't done that quite yet.
So you're going to buy some land down there?
I really would like to. There was, cool thing is, over where I was talking about where the volcano is, it blew up, 100,000 years ago or whatever, and it made 360 islands in this lake, the saltwater lake, and they've got sharks and everything in this lake. It's basically an ocean. But you can go down there and buy an island for about $125,000.
Oh, really?
And the island's got power and everything.
Really?
On it. Yeah, so you can have literally your own little island out there.
That's really possible, huh?
Oh, awesome. You can buy a beautiful house, for about the same amount of house that you'd buy here, like a $400,000 house, same kind of style. You have it on your own island out there.
Wow. I think I know where we should shoot our next episode of Real Estate Essentials.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Down there on these, the beautiful islands, but oh my gosh, is right in the rainforest, which was just amazing.
You don't need someone dropping the ball on your mortgage. Recruit a professional. Darin Rhodes, Utah's mortgage pro. He's got the skills, speed, and experience to win the best financing for your home. So draft Darin today at utahmortgagepro.com.
At the Utah Botanical Center, USU Extension in Kaysville, anytime myself or one of my customers has a question, we send them up here to the experts, also to come around the grounds and get some ideas and options for their landscape.
Zach, how are you?
Sean, good to meet you. I'm happy to be here.
Nice to meet you. We're here at the Botanical Center looking around, see what's here in bloom today and what's growing well. This particular property is called the Utah House, and the goal of this project is to demonstrate ways to save water and energy, both outside in the landscape, inside in the house.
This is my idea of heaven here. I really like this type of landscaping.
So the landscape's divided into 3 zones. Up close to the house is the highest water use, then kind of a medium use zone, then out on the edge, little or no irrigation waters. But as you can see, there's a lot of different color, textures. It's a nice looking garden, even though it's water-wise.
Oh, I love it. And the part that's on the outskirts, that's what you basically turn the water off to that, right?
Right. A couple of years to get it established, and then no water needed after that. Here we have some raised beds. A lot of people in Utah have heavy clay soil. Sometimes you can amend it. This is one product that I really like. It's called Soil Pep. It's composted fir bark. You can mix a couple of inches of this into your heavy clay soil. It'll loosen it up, make it easier to work with. If you have really heavy clay soil, then a raised bed garden like this works really well. This one's made out of cedar. You can also use redwood, cinder blocks, things like that.
Anything that will hold up good in the weather and the water, because it's going to be, it's going to have a lot of water on it.
And it's going to have some weight when you put the soil in. The other question is, you've got this nice raised bed built. What do you put into it? And so you can use some native soil and add something like this, which is compost, perlite, maybe half this, half the native soil. That'll make a nice loose mix to put in the bed. A bed doesn't normally have to be this high, maybe just 6 or 12 inches. These are a little higher, so you can get around them with a wheelchair. or walker. And normally I don't recommend planting in straight compost because it doesn't support the roots very well. So a little topsoil mixed in helps out.
The water percolates too quickly also in just straight compost?
With raised beds, yes, the water goes through quickly and you may have to irrigate a little more often.
Too much, yeah.
And here we're using drip irrigation. You can also use sprinklers to irrigate raised beds, but they'll warm up quicker in the spring. They're easy to weed, saves water. You can plant just about anything. The other thing with the raised bed is it's usually planted in a block pattern with the plants just a few inches apart. You don't need rows or anything, just put the plants close.
Or some people here are square foot gardening.
Yeah.
Is that kind of the same principle?
Square foot gardening, it's the same idea that each plant has a certain amount of space that it needs. So we don't have furrows or anything like in a big garden, so you can put the plants closer together.
How's the yield on the plants? You get a lot of fruit off of them?
Yes, the yield in these raised beds is very good because you can put the plants closer together. You have a nice loose soil and the plants take off growing. It's a good growing system.
Yeah, you can control your growing medium for it to extract the nutrients.
Right, and a lot of these soilless mixes have some fertilizer mixed right in with them. So that makes it easy. Just pour it in, start growing.
Sean, this place is incredible. What do you have to show me here?
Well, this teaching garden has a variety of different plant materials, and the value of that is if you have plants scattered, they can kind of hide from insects and they may not find the one that you want to eat. So this can apply to ornamentals like we have here or fruits and vegetables. So having a variety of plants gives more insects, more predators, insects, and just makes the garden overall healthier. There's a lot of plant interactions. One that's been studied is this alyssum plant, for example, is a host to parasitic wasps, and they will go off and eat the green worms that get into cabbage and broccoli.
That's a problem for everybody.
So having a diversity of plants increases the potential that you'll have the good insects there. Also, while we're right here, I want to mention these iris. We have the Dykes Medal winners back to 1924.
Incredible.
So every year, new iris are entered into a competition. The best one's given the medal. And so we have all of the Dykes winners here. They're labeled and named. People can come here and look around and see if there's one that they might be interested in. I wanted to mention a resource. We've been doing a lot of work lately on organic production. Worked with others at USU to develop a book, A Guide to Common Organic Gardening Questions. If you're interested in techniques that have been proven successful here in Utah, the book's available at your local extension office.
Thanks for tuning into this week's show. Now remember, real estate's all about local knowledge and timing, and that's what you get here on Real Estate Essentials.